Kamati. I have a few updates. So I'm going to just start off with saying, as we come into the new season, I want to remind you that this also symbolizes many things. Um, and so I'll do my best to explain so that you know how important it is that we remain focused, centered, and as I said the last message, start going back into prayer. Because if you recall, or you can even look back into last year's video of, that I shared around this time. And what I was talking about is that during this season, this time symbolizes, like time of release, right? But also preparation and coming into winter and storing or harvesting, so that the winter time could be, pretty much you're not going to have a difficult time getting through the winter. So that's one thing. So, that's coming in strong and clear. But also the other thing that I want to talk about in relation to the season is that because it is also, we're around the corner of like Halloween, and as you guys know, if you've been following me, then you know that I talked about this last year. They use this time to do like the most horrific and horrendous evil things, and that includes doing a lot of incantations, spells, dark magic. And so I understand now why the prayer was very important for us to start and just go all the way through as much as we can. And that is one of the reasons, is that during this time they start doing a lot of their dark magic. And so our prayer will counter that. And so if you are able to, light a candle to illuminate, all that is being revealed, and that it can continue to just, dissipate. That's, again, the intention, a lot of peace, a lot of love, because to counter or to cancel out the dark, spells or the magic that they do is by doing the exact opposite. So you don't ever want to do, more of what they're doing. So you don't want to do another evil spell to, attack their or counterattack their spell. You just don't do that, because you're just feeding that energy. So you want to make sure that it's always centered in love, God, and just, coming from good energy all the time. So that's one thing. The other thing is, as we're coming into this other part of the season, which is they're getting ready to go into the, the running, they are going to do a lot of manipulation, a lot of, making you think that you matter. And so it's very important to pay attention to that, because they like to do this. They like to use things that get people excited. It's kind of like, throwing someone a bone just to get them excited. Really, there's nothing on it. So just be aware of that. And, the goal is to make sure that they're not in those positions anymore. So don't fall for anything. Like, for example, some of you may have noticed that all of a sudden, this that they have been pushing this entire time is magically now going to be gone, or all of a sudden all these things that were imposed, they're going to be giving us a break on, when really, again, they never had a right to push any of that on us. If you are connected to your divine power, your divine, consciousness, and you have a good relationship with yourself, your body, creator, then you understand that that was never their right to tell us what to do and how to do it, when to do it. They can suggest, just like I could suggest, just like you can suggest things to other people, but ultimately no one can force you to do anything. And so all of a sudden they're going to pretend like they're gifting you this freedom, right? So don't get tricked. The freedom is yours. We were born free. And they have manipulated all these things into humanity to make us believe that we have to be under their thumb, and just really accomplished a lot of manipulation and control over humanity. But this is what we are breaking away from. And a big part of that is to recall our power and not give permission and participate in the things that don't resonate with us, that are not in alignment with us, and that we ultimately don't want to do, that does not feel right, but is being imposed on us because they're hanging things over us, like you do this or you don't get to do this or that. Ultimately, if we just don't agree to that, then it can't be manifested. And so this is what I'm telling you. Just remember that you have absolute free will, and you've always had it. And this is where we're at. That humanity has realized what I've been sharing for the last couple of years now, almost 3 years. And this goes also with what I was just talking about a little while ago in regards to a spell or an incantation. A lot of the things that they do in regards to this black magic is with your consent, because that's a big part of their law, if you will, is that they can't do anything unless they have your permission. And this is why a lot of it is manipulated, and a lot of it they scare. They use fear tactics to get you to say yes. And if you say no, then they lose power in the magic or the things that they're trying to, push humanity into, which is destruction and chaos, and ultimately, to lose our sovereignty, our spirit, our connection to Creator. And so if you are not a willing participant, then it cancels out whatever energies that they're working with, and their spells can't work. So it's very important that you know that. And again, especially coming into these seasons, please make sure that you are paying attention to your children, what they're watching, because they do a lot of this through what they watch. They do a lot of it through, just manipulation and vibration, frequencies, all that stuff. And this goes for us too. So be selective as to what you're watching, who you're speaking with, just all of it. I mean, in general, we should be doing that anyways, but more so right now, especially because things are very heated on both ends, and we're going to see a lot of things speed up now. And I had been seeing like a freight train coming to a screeching halt, and I feel that that's where we're at right now. So yeah, just make sure you're prepared all the way around, and that goes as far as what I've been saying all this time, with your preserves, with candles, flashlights, that sort of stuff. And ultimately, remember, if something does happen, always stay calm, stay in your prayer, stay more than anything where you're at, and allow this to kind of flow. So if you're prepared, there's no need to panic. There's no need for you to go out anywhere. And then, with that said, I have been seeing that there are going to be more businesses closed, and I've been seeing that some, depending on where you live, and I feel maybe this is already happening, but more and more towns or places are gonna, like cities, are gonna look like ghost towns even, because the businesses are going to be closing. And this is, unfortunately, I feel that in the next few months we're going to really actually see it, because right now everybody's really trying to do their best to hang in there, to hang on to their businesses. but the way things are looking and going, it's almost like that's where we're at, and there's not much else that they can do that they haven't already tried to do. And so a lot of the businesses are going to go out of business, and so there's going to be limited resources. So again, make sure that you are prepared, and this is not to scare anyone. This is something that I've been sharing and talking about for a very long time. So you probably are prepared if you've been taking my downloads into consideration. And if you're new to my channel or to this, happy to stop by, don't panic. This is just where we're at. We are having to go through this process to just begin a whole new, a whole process of stepping into our sovereignty, power, love, creation. Because anytime you clear stuff out, then there's an opportunity for creation. So I want you to remember that as well. We're not just like getting cleared and dismantled like a whole, like as far as humanity goes. It's an opportunity to start over, and it probably won't be really easy, but it is an opportunity to create again from a different space, from a space of not greed, not hate, not anger, a place of being humbled, holding space for each other, really coming together and helping each other, because that's what ultimately we as human beings we're supposed to know and learn, and why we're here is to coexist, not to try to be better than each other or one have like more power over anyone. It's not about that. And with that said, the other thing that I see happening, and this is going to be another hard one to swallow for a lot of, particularly the indigenous community, and a lot of people are not going to like hearing this, but I'm going to say it because this is what I'm getting. Just like when I spoke about that the religion was going to begin to be dismantled and we're going back into spirituality, I said this a few months back, and guess what? This is all I hear now, and you might have also been hearing this now, where more and more people are talking about that in order for things to be completely dismantled, so do the religious practices, because it's gone so far to the other side that they've basically been infiltrated by the evil people. And so all that also had to be cleared out. And so I know that a lot of people weren't happy with me. They didn't like it when I said it, but here we are. A lot more people they understand why and the importance, and they agree, and more people are speaking about this, that it's not about religion, it's about our personal relationship with Creator and the way we walk, right? Being in right relationship with ourselves, with Creator, and with Mother Earth, with all our relations. It's not about a religion, and I have spoken to this. And so here we are, people are starting to really get it, that as we move forward, we have to move forward with an open heart, an open mind, so that we can accept the opportunities, the beginning of what we're creating now. And then, so with that said, I do see that it's also important for everyone to realize that earth, land is not it's not the people. And this is why I said, and particularly indigenous people, I'm indigenous, we come from this belief that we were instilled that certain lands belong to certain, peoples, certain tribes. And although, yes, maybe they were settled there first, and then others came and unfortunately took over that particular land, the reality is that the land is not man's land. It is all people's land. It is all creation, right? It is all our relations' land. And so when we begin to realize that the greed and, it goes back to, who has more power and having this or not having that, it's not about that. If we really want to, be in harmony with each other, harmony with the land, and harmony with Creator, and everything that I continue to speak about, because that's what it's about. If we want to be in right relationship and walk in a good way, we have to realize that the land, the earth does not belong to us. We are borrowing it, and this includes all people. And so we're going to start seeing that because so much is being dismantled, so many people are going through hardships, that the only way that we're able to get through this is that we have shared space, shared land, communities, not individual, little places. So when I say communities, I'm talking about community of all our relationships, not just like, oh, this is one tribe here, one tribe there, or one people there, or one ethnicity here, one religion there. No, all of it has to start just really dismantling and realizing that we all have that equal opportunity to discover and to be part of and to, live and explore and experience and enjoy all lands. And so, yeah, I know that a lot of people are not going to be happy with me, as I said, but this is the message that I'm getting that's coming through. And I don't feel like it's going to happen immediately. I feel that people will have to feel into it and really sit with it and process it, because there is a sense of, like a death of, because we are going through a collective death of old systems, collective death of, the programming and the belief systems that were instilled in humanity. So we have to grieve all of that to be fully present and step into the beginning, the rebirth. And so right now I feel like we're all going through this huge rebirth, and we're in a process of a very, very long labor that has been very painful. But then once, it, like I said, that, that train comes to that screeching halt, it's like, boom, all of a sudden, we're out, right? We went through that rebirth. So that's why it feels like very long, very painful, but then all of a sudden, boom, it just happens. But, literally, it just happened, because we've been going through it. But I'm saying for the sake of, like, oh my God, before we even realize, it's like now we're on the other side. That's the same way that we're going to be going through the dismantling of the belief systems and all that that is not serving humanity, and that includes thinking that we have the ability to claim certain lands, because really it's all lands, everyone's lands, to be shared. And that's just it. When we have still a ways to go as far as like our conscious awareness and just breaking apart the ego, the ego belief system that we are entitled, or that we own, or that belongs to us. It doesn't. We're here to have an experience, to co-create, to borrow, and then we go back. That we this is not our permanent home. And when people really get that, then we can be in right relationship and in harmony with all our relations. So that's what I have for this time. And other than that, the one last thing that I do want to point out, because I don't get why people are still, and maybe it's not for me to get or to understand, but just be mindful. If you're still interacting with certain people, celebrities in particular, that are of low vibration and participating in the sacrifices and the destruction of humanity and children, then I feel like it's time for you to really ask yourself and go within and start doing some work. What is it within you that you resonate with, that frequency, that person, that energy of what they're doing, and why is it that you're still gravitating to them? Because maybe there's some work there for you to do on yourself, and this is not a judgment. Rather, it's kind of like a concern, but also I'm just bringing this awareness to hopefully, just kind of help you go through this process and start looking into why, what's going on there. And it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to look a little deeper into why you're allowing this energy in your field. But anyways, appreciate you guys. If you don't already have preserves or a backup to a place that you can purchase things, then again, I am connected with a company that I absolutely love. I know some of you have already signed up and you guys are loving the products just like I am. More and more people are switching, making the switch, and they're absolutely loving the products. So if you haven't made the switch and you're ready to just purchase organic, clean products, then message me and I will help you sign up. And also, invest in silver and gold. I keep saying it. I don't know. There's so many of us that are getting the same message. So if you haven't already done that, think about it. And I can also help you with that. Till next time, Tlaxcamati.